What if the internet's creepiest monsters finally threw hands? On one side, the SCP Foundation. Mysterious, global, high-tech, and somehow still managed by people who write everything in boring PDFs. On the other side, Trevor Henderson's nightmares. Raw, unfiltered terror straight from some eldritch sketchbook. No containment cells, no logic, just chaos. In this video, we're pitting 4 terrifying Trevor monsters against 4 well-known SCPs. We've matched them based on vibes, powers, and pure nightmare fuel. Some are straight-up massacres. Others? Well, you'll see. Oh, and just so you know, this isn't science. This is horror nerd brain juice at full power. So grab your flashlight, close your SCP wiki tabs, and let's dive into some battles that would make even SCP-682 say, "Nah, I'm out." Let the monster mash begin. Alright, first up, the Battle of Generational Evil. On the left, we've got the man with the upside-down face, the creepiest silent observer in Trevor Henderson's universe. On the right, SCP-106, aka the Old Man, aka Why Does This Grandpa Melt Walls? Let's break it down. SCP-106 is a walking corrosion disaster. He phases through walls, rots everything he touches, and drags his victims into a personal horror dungeon. The infamous pocket dimension where time goes weird and screams echo forever. He's nearly uncontainable, unless you have a steel coffin, 5 engineers, and a prayer. Then you've got the man with the upside-down face. He doesn't chase people or rot floors. He manipulates events. Plane crashes, mass shootings, building fires. The dude's a walking Final Destination franchise. He doesn't just cause disasters, he is the reason behind them. He's more like a force of nature wearing a twisted smile. So, if these two faced off, SCP-106 might go for the ambush, goo his way through reality, and try to pull the man with the upside-down face into his realm. But here's the twist. We don't even know if the man with the upside-down face exists in a way you can grab. He's metaphysical, a cosmic troll with a taste for misery. Even if 106 catches him, what's he gonna do? Trap an idea? Meanwhile, the man with the upside-down face could escalate things beyond repair. Think global catastrophes that make 106's pocket dimension look like a Halloween maze. He's not just dangerous, he's inevitable. Winner. The man with the upside-down face. Why? Because no matter how powerful 106 is, he plays in a sandbox. The man with the upside-down face flips the whole playground. Before we continue with the next matchup, and trust me, Cartoon Dog vs. SCP-157-1 is weirdly intense, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every click really helps us keep making creepy stuff like this. Alright, let's get into one of the most chaotic battles of the whole list. Round 2. Let's talk about 2 beings you do not want to see at the end of a dark hallway. On one side, we've got Cartoon Dog. Long limbs, dripping jaws, and a thirst for violence that makes even Cartoon Cat go, "Dude, chill." On the other, SCP-1471, also known as Mal-Zero, a silent stalker who shows up in your peripheral vision after you install a cursed app. Yeah, don't tap "accept" on that terms and conditions. Let's start with SCP-1471. This SCP doesn't attack you, it just appears. You install the app, and suddenly this creepy wolf-headed humanoid shows up more and more often, in mirrors, in reflections, standing at the edge of your vision while you try to enjoy your ramen. Mentally disturbing? Sure. But lethal? Not really. It's more like having a built-in jump scare subscription. Cartoon Dog, though? Totally different vibe. This thing is fast, aggressive, and fights like it lives inside a cracked-out Saturday morning cartoon. Think stretchy limbs, impossible movement, and zero moral restraint. He's all bark and all bite. So in a one-on-one? Cartoon Dog doesn't wait. He'd go full Wile E. Coyote of death and rip through SCP-1471 like tissue paper. SCP-1471 might linger and try to psych him out, but Cartoon Dog doesn't get psyched out. He laughs in the face of logic. Literally, there's no suspense here. Winner, Cartoon Dog. Why? Because while SCP-1471's strength is psychological creepiness, Cartoon Dog is a straight-up predator with cartoon physics and no off-switch. In a real fight, SCP-1471 would barely register as a speed bump before getting torn apart, probably to a laugh track. Next up, the dental nightmare known as Smile Room versus everyone's favorite plague-obsessed medieval cosplayer, SCP-049. Let's break down the freak show. Smile Room isn't just a monster, it is a room. A giant mouth, actually. You walk in, thinking you're entering a hallway, and boom, teeth, flesh, darkness. Once you're inside, you're basically gone. It's a pocket dimension that eats people. There are no lights, no exit signs, and definitely no refunds. Now, SCP-049, also known as the Plague Doctor, has some serious credentials, speaks like a 1700 scholar, wears that iconic bird mask, and believes the entire human race is infected. His touch? Instant death. He'll cure you by turning you into a walking corpse. Super fun guy at parties. So what happens when Mr. Doomfinger strolls into the Smile Room? Well, for starters, Smile Room doesn't care about speeches. It doesn't get tricked, distracted, or intimidated. It just opens wide and chomp. SCP-049 could try to fight his way out, but you can't touch-kill a dimension. You can't reason with it, and you definitely can't diagnose it. The minute he walks in, he's basically inside a nightmare stomach. But let's be fair. SCP-049 is smart. He might sense something's off, avoid the trap, or pull some backup strategy. He's no rookie. Still, when it comes to sheer advantage, Smile Room's got home turf, literal hunger, and no physical form to manipulate. Winner. Smile Room. Why? Because SCP-049 might have the deadly touch, but Smile Room is a sentient death trap that eats people like snacks. In this matchup, the doc gets digested. Last round, Brain versus Beast. On one side, the country road creature, a long-limbed, night-stalking terror that lurks in the middle of nowhere, waiting to pounce. On the other, SCP-035, aka the Possessive Mask, aka Manipulation, max level. The country road creature is one of Trevor Henderson's more mysterious monsters. It's huge, creepy as hell, and moves like it's powered by every highway death ever. Not much is known about it, except that if you see it on a lonely road, your night is about to end very badly. Then there's SCP-035. It looks like a harmless theatrical mask, but the moment you put it on, boom, your body's no longer yours. You're just the meat puppet. SCP-035 is cunning, charming, and extremely dangerous. He's convinced people to kill, lie, and serve him, all while cracking jokes. So here's the thing. Country Road Creature isn't exactly doing Sudoku in his spare time. He's fast, aggressive, and built to kill, but not smart. If SCP-035 gets close and somehow gets the creature to wear the mask, game over. Even worse, if the mask gets broken or ripped off, it releases corrosive fluid that melts everything around it. So unless the country road creature rips SCP-035 apart in the first 10 seconds, this one's going south fast. Winner, SCP-035. Why? Because manipulation beats muscle every time. The country road creature might be scary, but SCP-035 is the monster behind the curtain, and he always gets his puppet. So, who really wins when Trevor Henderson's monsters square up with the SCP Foundation? It's a mixed bag. Some Henderson beasts absolutely dominate, others get outplayed by smarter, sneakier SCPs. But let's be real. If these universes ever actually collided, we'd all be too busy screaming, glitching out, or getting swallowed by a hallway to care who won. Which battle was your favorite? Who do you think would win in a full-on war? Trevor's twisted creations, or the SCP Foundation's top-tier threats? Let us know in the comments. And while you're down there, tell us what you want to see next. One of the battles in this video actually came from one of you legends in the comments. So drop your wildest horror matchups, and we just might make it happen. And of course, if you enjoyed the chaos, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and you're part of the monster crew now.